In today's video, we are diving into an unconventional topic, setting up planted tank aquarium without using any substrate. If you're here wondering whether this might be a clickbait, rest assured it's not. I have been creating and maintaining substrate free planted tanks for over 4 years. And the tanks you see in the video are examples of this approach. While it may seem unusual, this method is not new. Many seasoned aquascapers have been practicing this for years. I'm simply following their footsteps. Now, the first question is, why set up a planted tank without substrate? You might be thinking plants and substrate go hand in hand, right? While that's typically true, there are some practical reasons to skip the substrate. The number one reason is ease of maintenance. Substrate can complicate tank maintenance. Uprooting plants or rescaping a tank with substrate often creates a mess. Without substrate, these tanks become much simpler and cleaner. The second reason must be cost savings. High quality substrates such as ADA Amazonia, Flubal Stratum can be expensive. For instance, filling up a 50-gallon tank with ADA substrate requires a significant investment. By skipping the substrate, you eliminate this initial cost. Of course, there is a trade off. A substrate free tank limits your choice of plants. However, this limitation can be overcome by focusing on the plants that naturally thrive without substrate. I'm simply referring to epiphyte and rheophyte type of plants. I'll explain later what they actually are. Plants that survive or thrive without substrate. In my aquascapes, I use epiphyte and rheophyte plants, which don't require a substrate to grow. These plants naturally attach to rocks, crevices, or driftwood in their natural habitats, such as rivers or streams. Example of epiphyte plants include Java moss, Java fern, Bolbitis fern, Anubias, and various Bucephalandra species. These plants can be easily attached to rocks or driftwood in the aquarium, creating a beautiful and functional aquascape without the need for substrate. My current tank setup. In my current tank, I have used two types of Bolbitis fern, trident Java fern, Anubias capifolia, Anubias nana, various Bucephalandra species, and Java moss. I have carefully wedged the plants into the gaps in rocks and driftwood. While the bare tank looks significantly artificial at first, the plants will eventually grow in and create a natural aesthetic. Once the tank is established, typically after 2 to 4 weeks, I'll add a thin layer of sand to enhance its visual and aesthetic appeal. Now, you might be wondering why wait. During the initial stages, the tank often experiences a diatom outbreak. Diatom is basically a type of algae fueled by silicates. Sand can introduce additional silicates, potentially worsening the diatom problem. Adding sand later helps minimizing this issue. Limitations and considerations. This method isn't about comparing substrate free tanks with traditional ones or claiming this one is better. It's simply an alternative approach that you might find intriguing. However, there are some limitations. Since the plants don't have substrate to draw nutrients from, I must dose fertilizer into the water column and inject pressurized CO2 to meet their nutritional needs. You might wonder if adding substrate could benefit epiphyte plants. While their rhizomes must remain above the substrate, their roots can grow into it, accessing additional nutrients. However, in my experience, regular fertilization and CO2 injection are sufficient for their growth. Final thoughts. I have been using this substrate free method since 2020 and have successfully created several beautiful planted tanks following this principle. If you're looking for a low maintenance, cost effective, and creative approach to aquascaping, this might be worth a try. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear your perspective and experiences. Until next time, take care and happy aquascaping.